All right, thanks a lot for coming on the Radical Fabulatorium today, Jonathan. I appreciate you giving me some of your time.
Well, thanks for inviting me. It's great.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited. So you're showcasing for Music New Brunswick Week. Do you know which day of the week which day of the conference you're performing?
I'm showcasing on the 24th. So
Okay.
October 24th at like 7:30.
Oh, that's a nice time.
Something like that, or 7:20. I know that it's like this weird slot, so we only play 20 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's around that time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And are you going to be mainly showcasing music from your latest release, Fallen Decral?
Exactly. Which is a release that I did last November. So yeah, mainly exactly that. I'm actually playing only 4 songs from those 5 songs that I released. It's only to be like in the time limit that we have for the showcase.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Cool. One thing that stuck out to me about that EP, first of all, what I think is interesting is like you listen to it on speakers and it sounds one way, and then you listen to it on headphones and you can start to hear all like the interesting production and kind of the ping pong mixing and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for some reason, what stuck out to me, and this doesn't always happen, is the sound of the hi-hats. And just like the hi-hats kind of like carry the vibe in a lot of the song. And I'm not a drummer or anything, but I don't know, for whatever reason.
It's interesting you're saying that, because basically there's like 2 different drum kits in most of the songs.
Okay.
What happens is that I had like an electronic drum kit that my good friend Jacques Botté that worked with me on this EP, he programmed a lot of like some percussions and stuff like that. And then we went to record into another studio, which were like full drum kit, hi-hat, toms, floor, and everything. And when I came back to the studio, I removed all of like the pre-prod that I did, but ended up like missing the old electronic drum kit also.
Okay.
So I basically took time to meticulously cut where I needed to cut like the electronic stuff and add it in, because I did the mix by myself.
Okay.
So I had like the opportunity to do that and just like mess around with hi-hats, but it's kind of cool that you noticed it.
Interesting. So a listener would be hearing both. So is the electronic drums happening at the same time as the acoustic drums, or is it kind of going back and forth?
It really depends, but I think the hi-hats are at the same time.
Okay.
And they're panned and most likely thrown into a delay sometimes. But yeah.
That's really
most
cool.
of the time, but not every time. It's very a mix and match of both.
Okay.
Yeah, organic and electronic.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think any listener should go put on the EP again, because I'm sure people have heard it before, and pay attention to see if they think the same thing. Yeah. That's cool. A little peek behind the curtain. And the person you co-wrote it with, was he was over in Europe or something at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jacques was in Europe, exactly. He's now back in New Brunswick.
Okay.
But he basically the way we worked is that I would record like some stuff, and he would shoot me like arrangements of what he thought was kind of cool, and then I would rework it, and then we just basically we did that like a few times, and then the song kind of took shape, and then another producer came along, so Sébastien Michaud, and then we basically made cut the fat in the songs, and then like make it into a song with a real drum and a real bass playing in a real room. That was like one of my main concern, right? I wanted a real drum and a real bass.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want like it's not that I used a fake bass on my demos. It's just I really wanted like a bass player and a drummer to play in the same room.
Play together.
So, together at the same time. And with me on the guitar also. So it was like this like natural thing. So Jacques mostly took part on like the demos and stuff. And then I reworked everything once I had like the recorded files into a studio.
Okay. And the musicians, are they kind of your go-to musicians in the band, or did the producer Sébastien help you find musicians, or like how do you make those decisions?
Basically, Chris Cormier, which is the drummer, followed me like throughout like all of the other EPs that I wrote, and John Punge was the first time that I played with, but I knew the guy. So he's basically new for this project, but he's following me now. He's playing with me at the MNB week also. And fortunately, well, Jacques is back from Europe. Cool. So he's playing the synth. So we're going to be 4 on stage, and basically it's basically all of the musicians that played on the AP that are playing with me on stage.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, because that doesn't always happen, right?
No, it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes the producer, I don't know, sometimes switches things up and asks for like a different musician. But I was really hands-on the production side. So I had a lot of decisions to do, like, since it's my EP. So, and I took that decision. Yeah.
And I know you went to school for production, or you studied or you did like an apprenticeship at a studio, right, in Quebec?
Exactly, apprenticeship. I studied in music in Quebec City at l'Université Laval, but I also did an apprenticeship at it's called Saint-Élie-Caxton's, like a super small village where there's like this beautiful studio, and it was mostly to like, I don't know, like record voiceovers, record audiobooks. It wasn't like, he didn't really I was there for like almost a year before I took the decision to move back to New Brunswick. And so I didn't really get the chance to like record a full band there and get the real full experience. But I played a lot with like compressors, different mics. So I learned a lot over there. And while I was there, well, I was recording my own stuff also. And what happened is that when I would like come back to the studio to work as an assistant, I would ask him questions about like problems that I had during my recordings, right? So he always like my master in a way. So I would ask him question, and he would like sit down with me and talk to me, and yeah, it was very valuable sessions that I did over there. So yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, just getting your hands on compressors and microphones and just starting to hear what they sound like it makes a difference, eh? Like you learn so much.
Yeah. And I would like go there for a day, and I would like sleep there and come back in the morning or whatever. So I would be there like during the night, and he said like, just, if you want to plug in this R44 into this API, just do it. You know, it's kind of neat. I had access to like super expensive gear that I could never afford now even, but anyways.
Yeah, crazy.
So it was kind of nice, and a nice room, and I would play around with that, but I was always kind of scared to break something also. Yeah. So I was very cautious, like where I would plug things, like make sure the phantom power is not on, or. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. I worked very briefly for a summer at a studio in Montreal called Planet Studios, and they had like LA2As and 1176s, and like you get in the room and you hear it all happening, and you're like, oh, I understand. Now I understand what people are talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's only but then it's like very hard to sometimes recreate it at home.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Sometimes like deceiving, but then you have to like switch your mindset to like, no, what I have at home is fine.
Yep.
Like recording is not what it used to be. It's like, it's very like, you can grab an SM58 and do something cool with it. It's more about the song, I think, now than the gear.
But I think you're right. Yeah.
But you're right with like, like hearing like for the first time an LA2A with like a nice mic. It's like, okay, well, yeah, it's kind of hard to.
It's kind of like cheating. Yeah, it's kind of like cheating now. Yeah,
it's like super simple.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's that easy.
Yeah. Thinking what I find interesting, and so I've written some music and mixed it myself too. And sometimes when you're like trying to mix the music, but you wrote the music, do you find you're in conflict, or like do you have to like shut off the emotion and think technically? Like, how do you balance those two side of things?
Oh man, it's a struggle. I think it's always been a struggle, and it's still a struggle. And I think I really want to take another approach for my EP, but what happens is that when you like start writing a song, right? You open your software and you start like recording your first track and laying down your demo. And then you start being attached to that demo or the sound that you've created. And for some reason, you can't recreate the sound down the line. So you kind of go with it. But, and then further on, well, you notice that the sound that you like so much is conflicting with all of the other ones that you've just recorded in a nice studio. So then I get all emotional about it. Yeah. And then sometimes I just really, I want to like delete everything and start over, but that's not the thing to do. So, to be honest, it's a very conflicting thing. I find it very hard, and I think I want to try to do something else next time. Like maybe bring in like well, obviously a mixer. So I'm down like just recording the tracks and just being in my studio and figuring it out. Mm-hmm. But mixing, it's another story. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But sometimes like I have such a like an idea in mind, like a track. I know exactly what I want to do. So I'd rather just do it myself. Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes. Yeah, and that's what I did for all of my EPs. And my last one was my best sounding, I think, which I mixed. And but I didn't master it though. But I mixed it, and yeah, it was good. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a very nice sound, and mastered by Parachute, right? Parachute Master.
Yeah. And it was the first time that I used Parachute mastering, and it was great. Mm. Yeah, he's super professional. Sounded great. Mm-hmm. Just, I mean. Couldn't ask for more, and he was like super down, like testing some stuff. So yeah, it was very nice. Yeah,
his studio is just maybe 15 minutes away from where I'm at right now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where is he situated?
Grand Bay.
Grand Bay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes outside of St. John. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw the pictures. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's real nice. Yeah.
A very beautiful place. All wooden floors and I can't remember the floors, but anyways, with the pictures, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I went out to interview him and he played some music on his fancy speakers and stuff, and it was pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's very cool.
When you mentioned earlier that was it with Sébastien that you said trim the fat, like you guys work together to trim the fat?
Yeah.
So what does that look like, and what does it look like, and how do you trust someone else to kind of like help you do that?
Mm-hmm. But at first, well, I showed him my demos. So the first time we sat down, he came to my studio and we listened to the demos. And at some point he said, "Oh, well, this intro might be too long, so let's cut it." I was like, "Okay, let's try that." So we tried it. Like, it's nothing like super serious. It's just like cutting and bringing back the session, you know? Mm-hmm. So, not bad. And then we did that for a few songs. And at one point I was like, "Oh, I think we did too much. So let's bring it back, dial it down." So I think the way I worked with him, it was like I was open to his ideas at first. And if I didn't like it, just would go back to the same thing that I had, mm-hmm. you know? But we also had like in mind, like, oh, there's some certain songs that are like maybe even more radio friendly in a way. And I'm not sure if it's a thing, but I mean, like a 5 or 6 minute song on a radio, it's like not as catching, I guess. It's mm-hmm. not like, it's not that it's not an appropriate thing. It's just I think it's like almost all songs are like 3 minutes something.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's kind of just the way it is. So anyway, so I had that in mind also. So I was like open to cutting some stuff but yeah, and it turned out great. I mean, I think it's more of a thing of like being open.
Open to ideas, like open to feedback.
Open to the idea. Just give it a try, and if it doesn't work, well, I guess it just didn't work, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't gel with me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I had like the final decision, but like for example, in the song Fond d'écran, I remember he suggested something. We recorded it. I didn't really like it, so when I was mixing, I just removed it. So in the mixing phase, but I mean, it was a good idea. It's just like the lyrics with the sound didn't really go together, I guess.
Okay.
So, but it was a great idea. I mean, it's more it's an artistic choice after. Every ideas are good. You just got to give it a try and see if it works. Mm-hmm. Be open. Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things too. I find like if you have someone else who's disconnected from the project doing the mixing, they might find those moments of like muting and unmuting sections that you wouldn't have thought thought of, or they can hear it as being too busy, which in the moment you as the artist, you don't hear it that way.
Exactly. I think that's a good point. Another mixer exactly brings another opinion to the track. So yeah, he can mute stuff, obviously. Yeah. Unmute, delete, whatever. But, I think, yeah, you got a good point. That's mainly the reason why I wouldn't ask maybe somebody else to mix my stuff now. And not have like the responsibility to finish it, because finishing is another thing, because I have a folder on my Dropbox. All right, V17.
yeah, V17.
Yeah. Oh, the guitar is a bit tucked underneath the drums this time.
yeah, and then you go back and listen to V1, and you're like, oh, actually V1's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's the worst. That's the worst feeling. Yeah, then you overcompressed everything. But I mean, yeah, at some point you just got to let it go, and you got to let it live. I think. Get
it out of your brain so you can move on to the next project.
Yeah. Also, and that's the thing too. I've noticed, like in the past years, I was like super focused in only like, maybe I did like that 5 songs. I was maybe working like with 10 songs, and then I narrow it down to 5 songs. I was like too focused in like every aspect. So it really choked my time to just that one single thing. And it took so much resource from me to finish it. And then at the end, I'm just like, oh, I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't have any energy to promote it or even organize anything about it. It's just, I'm done.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So I have to really like focus my time, say like, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks to record this album. After that 2 weeks, it's done. You know, that's how I should work now. Yeah.
I know what you mean. So thinking about that too is like, so then when you put that time limit on yourself, it's good to have deadlines for anyone listening. Hard deadlines, like giving yourself an actual deadline is really important. Yeah.
For everything, like when you ask for Music NB, DIM, there's a dedeadline to apply.
Yeah.
We need that deadline.
Yeah, especially creative types. Yeah, creative.
Yeah. Creative type. We need a deadline.
Absolutely. Sure. So so you got it recorded and the album's done. How do you, when you go to get ready to rehearse it and play it live, do you try to carry over as much of the sound from the album to the live performance, or do you kind of view that as a separate world? So you kind of change things around?
At first, and it's funny that you're asking that question, because I just finished a practice with my good buddy Jacques Botté, the one who plays the synth. And at first, I really wanted to carry that over to the live. So I had like prepared some like backing tracks with a click and stuff like that. And then at some point, Jacques called me and says like, man, let's just take the essentials, like the essentials of the song. Like, what makes the song good? Okay, we got this synth line. Okay, that is important. Let's make it work on one synth. So I gave him not really gave him. He borrowed my Prophet 6, my synth. So he borrowed that and made it happen with only one synth with different presets.
Okay.
So just one synth with a pedal and whatever. So like at first we were thinking of like, oh, well, you should maybe open up the Arturia VST that you use on this song and patch it into an Ableton session and just like toggle through the tracks and whatever and play that. And then it was like way too much work. So we decided to like, okay, let's bring it back to the essential. I think Jacques was the main guy who like took that decision. And I have a lot of confidence in Jacques for sure for doing those things. So he did it, and we had a practice. We just finished a practice, and it sounds good. Like not everything is there.
Yep.
But the essential tracks are there for sure.
Okay.
Or the essential like melodic and feeling wise is there. Yeah.
And it's kind of what you said earlier. Like it comes down, like we were talking about fancy studio equipment. It still comes down to how good the song is.
Yeah, exactly. The song. Yeah, exactly. The song is everything. and the day you're singing the song sometimes will affect the song. Like the track Fond d'écran, funny enough, that track, it was on the demo, I think. And I recorded it like real quickly to send it to Jacques back in Europe, back in the day when he was there. And the fact that I recorded like just like not really thinking about it, like the essence of the track is there. And then I tried to re-record the track because I don't know, there was like this one little thing that I wanted to, like get it better. Yeah. And I just couldn't get the vibe. So I really had to take that decision. It's like, no, I can't do anything about that track. Let's just leave it as is, and it's going to be that. Yeah. It's weird sometimes. But yeah.
Weird. Yeah. You can't get song. That vibe. Yeah. The feeling's got, for whatever reason, the feeling is in that moment special. And a listener I wouldn't have thought that was the story for that song. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have thought, oh, this sounds like a demo that he put in after the fact or something. You know what I mean? Like, I would never know that.
Right, exactly. And one thing that I understood, like at the demo stage, it's kind of cool that the sound that you're tracking is good. So I really think that like a nice little studio with a nice little interface, with a nice little mic, that's good enough. And as long as you capture that sound in a nice way, and if it transfers to the real song, to the finished product, I mean, well, like at least the sound quality will be okay. Right? But yet again, you can also do it with an iPhone and it would still be fine. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just my way of doing it, like just having a nice sounding source right at the beginning, and then if I need it later, I'll be fine.
I think that's really good advice. I've heard it said somewhere else that, like, I can't remember who I was listening to, but someone was saying that when they're recording that, like songwriting demos, assuming they're in their studio, like it's not an idea in the moment and they got to just put it on their phone. They pretend that no matter what they're recording, they're going to send it to a mixing engineer. Just so they know that it'll always be, quote unquote, good enough for the record. If that moment strikes where you kind of what you just said, where you track something and you can never get the feeling right, so you need to carry it over to the final version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like an artistic thing, not a problem, but like the demotitis that happens. Yeah. Like you're so attached to the demo for some odd reason. Not necessarily better than whatever as the finished product, but sometimes there's something about the demo that just works, and you can plug the same mic and it's the same preamp, and it's not going to sound the same for some reason.
I think sometimes it's the emotion, because maybe a demo is connected closely to when the song's written. So you're just like in your mind, you're like connecting the emotion of the creative moment with the recording.
Oh, that's a good way of seeing it, actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're closer to your writing process than your finishing process. Yeah. So you're closer to the initial emotion. Oh, interesting. I think that's what it is. I think you got it.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that. That makes me feel smart. So.
Oh yeah, it's very clear. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm excited to see your showcase. Music New Brunswick Week on the 24th. Do you know which venue you're at? Are you going to be at the
I'm at the Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. Okay.
Yeah, Cultural Center. Yeah, Aberdeen. So it should be fun. So yeah, it's a big place. It's not a big place. It's not a huge venue, but at least we can fit all four on the stage. Yeah. A good sound man also.
Yeah, sounds good there.
And yeah, it should be fun, and very fun for sure. Yeah.
One thing I want to point out, just from one thing, just kind of a personal thing I enjoy, and like your first EP, Bateau de Val d'Eau.
Oh wow, you listened to that? Cool.
I did, yeah, and I really appreciate the way it starts with the guitar in one channel only, and then the vocals in the middle.
Yeah.
That's just me personally, because I know a lot of people, I would show people some of my songs and they'd be like, well, you should double the guitar and have it panned over to the right, or why isn't the guitar up the middle? And I just want to personally say I appreciate that, because I like when there's balance I like when mixes kind of are unevenly balanced from time to time and they move around a bit. So I just wanted to point that out, that I enjoyed
it's
that.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was re-listening to my old songs, and production wise, it's not the same. I've evolved there's been like almost like 6 years in between of the last one. Well, obviously it was released in 2020, but it was done way before that. But it's funny you say that, because I think my initial approach with that EP was like, okay, there's only one track of guitar. Maybe a electric guitar, but I had to like record my entire track like from start to end and make it happen.
Okay.
I really had that approach.
That was your, like you set that as a rule? That was like your restriction, or?
Almost. Yeah, almost like a rule. And I think it came from my apprentice, I was like working at a studio.
Uh-huh.
And I remember he saying that it's like, there's nothing like a track that you record from the top till the end, and you get like a whole track, perfect track.
Yeah.
Start to finish. There's nothing like that. I was like, huh. So I think my approach was like that. Now it's like, okay, sometimes like to move faster, I just cut back. But I think if I make I will make another album, but I'd like to make a real album, like 12 songs or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I'll bring back some of my initial approach to it.
Cool.
I think. Yeah, I'll try.
There's a studio in Fredericton. Do you know Keith Howlett, blues musician?
Yes, we crossed paths at the craft festival this summer, but we didn't have time to chat or anything. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I haven't been to the studio, but I've talked to people who've recorded there. He doesn't even have a computer, so like it's like into the board, onto the tape machine. So like it is one. I mean, you could do punch-ins and stuff, but it is like built to force artists to do like takes, like one take, straight takes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it's a very nice approach. I think I'd like to try that also. Mm-hmm. I'm still like, I really like the digital side also, with like computers and being able to like mess around with digital stuff also.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not opposed to like recording stuff to tape also. Mm-hmm. Maybe one day.
Yeah, different experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're pretty much out of time, Jonathan. That was awesome. That was like, solid 30 minutes went by just like that.
Wow. Well, thanks for the interview. Awesome question. Thanks for listening to the songs, and yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, and I encourage anyone to listen, like I said at the beginning, like in headphones and on speakers, because there's all kinds of ear candy, like hidden tricks going on in the mix. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. No problem. All right. Thanks a lot.